Hi, hello, and welcome to the intensive version of CCV's Bioethics class. My name is Mercedes Pour, and I'll be your instructor this semester. I will admit to you that intensives do make me nervous. However, I have taught them before. And what I have learned is that they work, and they work beautifully when you, as the student, maintain your responsibility, and I, as the instructor, honor my responsibilities. So how do we know what our responsibilities are? Well, luckily they're all kind of captured in the course description. So the first thing I want you to do before you even dive into this Moodle is go up to the right-hand corner and print out that course description. Read it, highlight it, make notes of what you have to do, and kind of keep that with your bioethics materials. If you look through that, you'll see that, especially in an intensive, it is your responsibility to know what's expected of you, to get all the materials, to have backup plans in case of online outages or whatever, and make sure you know what's coming up every week. The counter to that is it's my responsibility to make sure this course is very clearly laid out, that you do know what you want to do, that I am clear in my expectations and my prompts, and that you know exactly what you have to do from week to week. That's important in any course. It is more important in an online intensive because there's no room for catching up, basically, for either of us. That's why also I have internal deadlines during the week. So your first discussion post is due by Friday, your post or journal is due by Sunday, and then any papers are due by whatever day. The reason I do that is because it's also my responsibility to get you speedy feedback, and I am able to get you better feedback and grades and comments when you honor your deadlines. So I have to be pretty firm with those internal week deadlines because we need to keep moving. There is no room for late work or for everything to come in on Monday night. I can't manage my responsibilities that way. So that's why those things are set up that way. In terms of my grading, what I do hope to do is make sure that I'm giving you feedback in the discussion forums, and I tend to grade on Monday and Tuesday nights, and what I usually will do is, if you're getting 5 out of 5, I won't really leave a comment. If you're getting anything less out of 5 out of 5, I will leave a comment explaining why. For any papers that you write, your comments and your grades are inside Turnitin, and there will be instructions on how to find that. You really want to keep track of your grades and your comments. I tell you why you got the grade that you did. And again, especially in an intensive, you don't want to go to week 5 or 6 and not know your grade. So I'm going to be posting them. Make sure you're keeping track of them. The only other thing about that is, I forgot. Well, I just know my attendance policy as well, especially in an intensive. Missing too many posts will tank you very quickly, so make sure you want to be here. If for any reason you don't want to be here, know that now. Go to your CCV advisor and switch to another section of bioethics. But let's talk about bioethics because it's one of the most exciting courses that we have here at CCV. I also think it's one of the most important courses we have here at CCV. I know a lot of you are probably here hoping to get into VTC's nursing program, or maybe in CCV's medical assisting program, or maybe some of you are hoping to go on and transfer to a medical related field in some way. Some of you might be here just because it's an interesting course, and it is. It's an incredibly important course. The reality is that many of us are going to have to face these issues, whether we work in the medical field or not. What I will tell you is I teach this course, yes, from a philosophical standpoint. That's my background, philosophy and anthropology. But I'm also going to be teaching it so that any of us as citizens would be able to relate to these things. Because this is an academic course, as part of the course catalog for CCV, we're going to be looking at these issues, very controversial issues, from a philosophical, a moral, and a policy standpoint. There are going to be some things we talk about here that our country hasn't figured out yet. We don't know what we want to do as a people yet, as a nation. And some of these things are in the news almost every day. It is very important, therefore, that we make sure that we're approaching this as academics and not with our personal beliefs or our religious beliefs. And it is of the utmost importance that we make sure that we never attack anyone's personal or religious beliefs. Those things are off to the side. When we're here in this course, we're going to be looking at it very academically. So you can't posit an argument based on faith, because that's not in the purview of this course. You can hold those beliefs, and we will respect those beliefs, but you really can't argue based on that. I believe this because it is so. It just doesn't hold up in a philosophical debate. You have to have reason. So it's okay to have those things and still have a philosophical moral policy debate, and that's what we're going to try to do. For that reason, if I do see any language that is demeaning or disrespectful, what I'm going to tend to do is leave it up in the discussion forums and respond to it right there publicly. If I see anything that crosses the line, though, I'll go ahead and take that down. I'll delete it, and I'll send that person a message. The only reason I'm even bringing this up is it happens every so often, not very often, but the kinds of things we're going to have to talk about this semester can be pretty controversial, and people usually feel very strongly or passionately one way or another. What I hope, though, is that you change your mind about something this semester. I hope you learn something that broadens your perspective. I hope that you say, oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way before, or I never had that understanding of it, which allows me to think of it in this new way. And that's what we're hoping to do this semester. I always think about new things when I teach this course, because someone brings in a new viewpoint that maybe I hadn't considered before, or something happens in the news and we have to go look at it with a bioethical viewpoint. So it's usually a pretty dynamic course. So it's a wonderful course, I think a very important course, and I hope that you enjoy it. Remember, though, this is an intensive. We got to hang on, and we just got to make sure that we get through. The beauty of taking an intensive is that it does mean the end of your semester is a little lighter if you're not adding a second half semester, so you do get through a lot. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your efforts this semester, and here we go.